first thing, and then the whistle blew, and goes, well, didn't go above my head. And he goes, did, that's not like above your head. She said, it didn't say my height. And if she released the ball, it's not like go above your head.
And welcome back to those who caught the earlier game. We are here for game number 2 of the Summer Cup doubleheader, having seen the Clarence Zebras kick off the day with a big 4-1 win over the Olympia Warriors in the women's. It's over to the men's side of things for the Warriors. They're to walk away from KG5 with any silverware. They'll enter this one as the favourites. The red hot favourites up against a young South Hobart side who lost a number of players over the off-season but have done well throughout the group stage to make this final here today. Can they cause an upset against the Warriors? Here is the Warriors lineup. Number 1 in net, Davis Smith. Number 2, Adam Gorry, of course a former South Hobart player. He'll line up against his former side. Lucas Hill will line up in the middle of the defence. Kazuma Kobayashi probably in defence as well. Nicholas Mearns in midfield. Warren Wadawu gets the start today, as does youngster Ashton Pacey-Main. Jack Ryan has been in a red-hot form throughout the pre-season. He leads the line, and for the first time in the Summer Cup, both Browns will be starting. Declan and Callum, 2 big ins there. Lachlan O'Connor made his debut in their final group stage game. He'll probably line up at left back. On the bench, Joseph Morabu, Joffrey Nkoso, Jackson Kasif, and backup keeper Darby Randall. Kobe Mostianis also a late addition to the bench there, with Jake Vandermeer being scratched. It's a very strong Olympia side, despite a couple of absences, notably perhaps Luke Farrell, Ben Hamlet, 2 of the 3 former South Hobart players, so only 1 lining up today. We'll quickly run through the South Hobart team as well before kick-off here. In goals, the American number 1, Chase Waybert. Number 3, Lachlan Semler. Our other import, number 5, the centre-back, Patrick Kibler. Ewan Larby's been good in midfield. Kobe Kemp, one of the real senior leaders of this team now. And he and Laka Seljuk will be in that engine room. Samuel Berezanski's been one of the breakout players of the Summer Cup. He appears primed for a huge season. Riley Morton probably lining up alongside Kibler at centre half. Siar Kurdistan expect to lead the line. There's the striker Casper Hallam, the explosive winger, and Toby Havainen, the fullback, rounding out the 11. On the bench, Lockie Semler, Tay Evans, Samson Juju, Samuel Tews, and the veteran Mark Moncourt just bringing up that average age from about 17 to 24. The savvy veteran Mark Moncourt. A very young South Hobart team, but a very talented one, as we have seen throughout the group stage. I'm Andrew Cooling. Joining me to call the action here in this Summer Cup decider, Jake Morgan and Paul Hunt. A very good afternoon, gentlemen.
Well, it's wonderful to be here as ever, Andrew, and always even more lovely to be here on Cup final day. And I think you've certainly set the billing correctly there. It is a very young South Hobart side coming up against much more experienced Olympia side that have really picked a lot of players clean from other sides, particularly South Hobart, as you raised earlier, but certainly a bit of a surprise to see them missing out on those two former South Hobart players that you mentioned earlier, Farrell and Hamlet. It'll be interesting to see how they adapt without that. It's going to be interesting too to see where that man Warren Wadawu lines up, Andrew Cooling.
He used to be starting up top alongside Jack Ryan. Adam Gorrie at right back. Looks like a more traditional back four for the Warriors. We saw that in their last group stage game. Prior to that, had been rolling a 3-5-2. This man's been red hot all pre-season, Jack Ryan. He looms as the key up top. But Nkoso on the bench today, and Wadawu starting. Probably a little bit of a surprise there. Andrew Brown with plenty of options at his disposal. And the Brown twins appear to be lining up as two left and right sided players in that midfield group.
Often the kind of decision that you can see made, as we see a beautiful ball in over the top here. Casper Hallam now, and a bit of a tame shot there at the new Olympia number 1, Davis Smith. Going to get confusing to call that one at times with the two last names, so apologies if I go the Davis call on you there, Smithy. But we'll see that as South Hobart win the ball. Just try to lump it long and forward, but looked like it had just slid out of play there. Going to be a throw now. Your thoughts coming into this game, Paul Hunt?
Yeah, it's very interesting, the Warriors. It's a pretty strong lineup, but then arguably, as we mentioned, not at complete full strength. You'd think Hammer Time Hamlet would get a starting berth, as would Loic Farrell, but it's a good opportunity, a big stage for young Ashton Pacey Main, slotting in to the centre-back position. Obviously, he'd be familiar with a fair few of these South players, as he probably played against them in Challenge League a lot last year, so he'll certainly have that ace up his sleeve over someone like Lucas Hill, who's been playing nothing but NPL for quite some time now. With Wadawu and Koso as well, you've got to think that's got to be a fitness thing. Whilst the postman does know how to deliver a cross or a good pass, you would think on paper and Koso would get the nod over him.
Could just be Manager Brown opting for experience, as people can do in the bigger matches like Cup Final Day. Just see the first touch here from Brown for Olympia. I think that was Declan Brown over there on the far side. Certainly makes things a little bit easier to call in Olympia games when you can just say Brown and you've got a good third of a chance that you're correct out on the field. It's going to be his brother Callum to take this one. We've got a couple bodies in the middle. The Mountain Lucas Hill at the near post looking threatening, but doesn't get anywhere near past Tobias Hawainen, who knocks that one away for another corner.
Yeah, there's a lot of decisions that get made in the off-season, but the opportunity of Declan Brown of changing a hair colour, probably the decision of the off-season, certainly from my perspective, and I would indeed stretch that to our perspective.
I've got the background on that one. I'll go into that one after the corner, but I've got the story behind that salad. In fact, from the man himself, as the corner is swung in deep to the back post. O'Connor's there. Coming across was Kobe Kemp. And deflecting off of Lachlan O'Connor for a goal kick. So apparently the Brown Boys big 8-ball fans like shooting the pool. They have an annual series where they go head-to-head over the course of an entire year. And the loser has to get a particular hairstyle. It was a shaved lid the year before. This year it was the bleached dye blonde. So the loser in that battle was Declan. Hence why he has got that outrageous salad today. He needs to work on his 8-ball skills and try and win the challenge this year. But lost about 130 to 120, I think it was. As Jack Ryan almost getting in there, raking back to live play. But, yep, that is the story behind that salad. And as you say, finally able to distinguish the two. I'm all for it.
Salad stories with Andrew Cooling. Let's hope to make that a extended series over the course of the season. And as Kurdistan gets, I believe, his first touch of the ball, O'Connor coming across to hit that one clear. Hot Dogs up there chasing with Kurdistan, manages to win the header. Now Brown. Didn't quite lay the correct pass. Hill obviously moved from South to Olympia a few years ago, but is another one who's played for both sides.
Yeah, just plundered them a little bit of late. So just looking to get things going now, Olympia. It's been a little bit cagey early on, but it does seem to be Olympia who, after the flag of that offside, and there is a player down. Hopefully he'll be back to his feet there. I think that's Kibler, the American. It'll be interesting to see how he slots in for South this season, because he's certainly looked pretty assured in the pre-season, Andrew.
Yeah, PK has been very solid so far for them. Slightly shaky start in his first half in the first game against Olympia, but barely put a foot wrong since then. He's looked a fine signing, and he and Morton will be the centre-back pairing here this afternoon. Here's Ewan Larby, who's really impressed this pre-season, working with Kurdistan. Just left it behind him here, might lead in Lucas Hill, but Larby kept on keeping on, and he's crossed well shut down in the end by the former South Hobart man, Adam Gorry. And that's a lovely ball over the top. Jack Ryan's in behind, and the flag's been raised on him. And almost certain goal there that will form Jack Ryan has been in. I don't think our camera angle will show, but geez.
No.
Wow, that's not offside.
He's a mile on.
That's a poor decision, that one, looking at the replay. And a real reprieve there. What a ball it was from Declan Brown, who gets back on the ball here. The Browns made such an impact against the Clarence Zebras when they came on for their first hit out of the Summer Cup and their first starts here today. But really that match against the Zebras that completely transformed the moment the Twins entered the fray.
Well, he has a beautiful mix of guile and directness, I think, is the thing that typifies Declan Brown. He can run at players and make them afraid of that, but he's also capable of dishing off the passes. Kurdistan gets on, and geez, he looked to hit that one from distance, but just scuffed the shot, dragging it well wide. But he's a player for South, I think, that has looked just threatening in terms of his acceleration, I think you would say, about CR Kurdistan. I think he's going to be a big in for them today. Very sprightly in the warm-up, kind of nimble operator that can quickly turn a man. And be surprised if he looks to isolate himself a bit against Ashton Pacey Main today too, with the more experienced Lucas Hill aside.
In the first 6 minutes, he's been pretty much starting on Hill and then running diagonally across as Lachlan O'Connor's gone the tunnel there on Casper Hallam. Real dive at the leg stuff, really like an offensive lineman in NFL, just coming across and really nailing an opposition player. Not quite legal in this code of football, though. It's a different free kick there from Kemp, out to Hallam. Up towards Kurdistan, who again on Pacey Main and tries to turn around him. Good persistence there from the youngster, but Hallam going on a mazy run. And again, Pacey Main plays it out, and that's a good, intelligent ball to spread the field. Brown, Ryan, Gorry still bombing on. He goes diagonally to Callum Brown, but that one is going to spin, and probably can't quite notice it too much on the screen, but there is a steady, if not stiff breeze heading down this way, the direction that ball was travelling. Something for the players to consider.
Always worth a little glance towards the corner flags when you're curious about what kind of direction the breeze is coming in. But you are right, it will be a bit of a factor today as a fierce contest came in there between Dwayne and another. Interesting too to be seeing Kobayashi lining up in midfield today, gentlemen. If I'm not mistaken, I've seen him line at fullback on occasion.
Yeah, I think with O'Connor coming across into left back, he's probably going to be a defensive midfield option. Very versatile player, these hot dogs, but probably occupy that defensive midfield role. Luke Farrell, obviously another option they have, but certainly plenty of depth. But O'Connor is the man they've kind of brought in to fill that left back role, I think. They've got Jackson Cassif on the bench if they want to play the hyper-offensive wing-back. We've seen him throughout the pre-season. Really, really attacking. When he and Gorry were out there together, I don't think I've seen a more attacking duo in local football than those two. But a little more balance perhaps brought with O'Connor coming in there.
The tale of O'Connor, Andrew Cooley.
Played a bit of NPL New South Wales football, so it's played at a pretty high level. And they're pretty happy to have him coming in. Obviously a high-level player who doesn't fill that visa spot as as an Australian, but I think he was at Sydney Olympic a couple of years ago, so certainly experience in a tough competition there as Nick Mearns looking to make something happen. South Hobart's captain Cody Kemp scrapping in there. Numbers will win out for South, and in the end, Riley Morton will just thump this long. Suspicions of handball against Pacey Main there. Gets away with it and then just opts to retreat back to Smith. Almost sold him a little short as Kurdistan was lurking. Here's Callum Brown looking to get involved for the first time, but well done Toby Havainen winning that duel, although Declan Brown now pouncing. Mearns. Ooh, that was a solid challenge from Mearns. Ball deflects out to Kobayashi. Kobayashi turned over there. Larby winning it back for South. And one of the standout performers in the pre-season, Ewan Larby. He'll be an important player for them this season. As with all those departures have come opportunities, and he's certainly been one who's put his hand up to really fill some of that space as Kurdistan tries the most ambitious of efforts, and that one's not going to trouble the scorers or even the shot counters. It just drifts well wide of the mark.
Oh, I don't
Smashing
mind
that into a stiff breeze.
I don't mind it. No, he turned his man quite well there, but it was certainly ambitious as an understatement to call that one.
Yeah.
We just got a little bit of fandom there from the crowd. Not quite sure what was going on there, but very, very distracting. It'll be Semler now for South Hobart. And he heaves the ball forward. Kurdistan is competing well up there, isn't he? A man who can act as a target a bit and get in behind, it looks, as the ball comes in over the top to Hallam. Can he control? Does manage to control, but just ended up going the wrong way there for a little bit. South recover through Riley Morton, who looks to play him in first time, and O'Connor could have just about shepherded that one out, but worried about the pace of Hallam, opts for safety and knocks it out wide.
You wonder if the Olympia Warriors players of last year have just given him some homework on Hallam and alerted him to his pace. And you wouldn't have seen too much of him, you'd think, but obviously we've seen Casper Hallam turn a game coming on as mainly a sub last year. Let's see if he can build on that and do it for the full 90. It's Kurdistan. Lets that one go, and Hill thumps it high in the air. Kemp, and as far as Brown, fall nicely for South. Now Mearns, Kobayashi, thought about going to Ryan, quite accurate. Now out full South. Now Hallam, open in the box. Hill manages to get a leg in. Berezanski was in all kinds of space there. He still is. And unfortunately, right down the arms of the keeper there from Berezanski. He was in some space earlier and finally got his shot off. Smith up to it, and that's not the greatest flick on ever. Ryan, Wadawu's open in the centre. Brown's at the back post, but eventually coming across and cleared was Havainen, but maybe Wadawu first time, you reckon, Jake?
Yeah, he just dawdled a little bit on giving that ball there, I think, did Jack Ryan. Wadawu getting into a brilliant spot there. The postman looking to be receiving the mail just there, but couldn't stick it in the back of the net. Good opportunity, though, for Olympia with a bit of tall timber in this team in the Browns and players like Jack Ryan and Lucas Hill. Definitely worth putting in the mixer. It's Gorry, and he does put it in the mixer. But well claimed there from Chase Weebert for South Hobart. Did have O'Connor in there for company, and they'll look to move it on quickly through Lackaseljak. He finds Curdy up the line. But that one just well defended, really, by Olympia. It's going to be a good battle, I think.
Yeah, South looking up for this contest early on. Certainly not overawed the younger side as Nick Mearns charges through, gets the better of Morton, swings in across for Jack Ryan! Nodded straight at Chase Weybert, who makes the save. It was a great chance for the Englishman, either side of the keeper, and that's probably 1-0. And well done to the American, denying him there. In the blink of an eye, it was almost 1-0, and now a chance for Kurdistan back the other way. He's been busy early, CR Kurdistan. And he chips this one in for Hallam, not really one you'd expect to beat Lucas Hill in an aerial duel, and just outpointed by the mountain there. But Ewan Larby left it for Lackaseljak. Now Kurdistan. Can't quite find Berezanski, but yeah, a good tempo to this game early on, fellas, end to end, and both teams looking pretty good in attack. Kobe Kemp retreats back to Semler.
Been pretty impressed with Ashton Pacey Main so far. He's sticking to his task pretty well. It's South in a bit of space here now. Couldn't find Wayne and out wide, and O'Connor just competed with strength there and managed to win the ball back before Kibler steals it back for South and promptly gives it away again. A little bit scrappy for the first time in the match here. Both of these teams would like to settle on the ball for a little bit.
Nice exuberant Cruyff turn there from the American import PK. His compatriot Weebert will thump it long. No one really there. As Pacey Mains headed that so hard he's knocked himself to the floor. Hot Dogs battling away with Hallam. Brown back to O'Connor. Mearns with Dawu. Good ball. Now towards Declan Brown. Gorry on the overlap. That's a sight we'll be seeing a fair bit throughout this NPL Taz season. Gorry with the return ball is offside. And it's expertly done there from the South defence. You could see PK really marshalling the defence and high-fiving Morton afterwards. Certainly something they might have worked on during the week.
No, brilliant use of the offside trap there by the two South Hobart defenders. Goal kick just taken short there before they looked to go up the middle, but Laka Seljak gave that one away. Bit of encouragement out there from Kemp, looking to lead the team on, calling for a bit more tempo. These couple of young players there that have just combined for South Hobart have really come on in the last year or two.
Kemp managing to win the ball off Mearns, but again, just the distribution out from the back for South. They're doing relatively well in stifling any Warriors' attacks, but when they get the ball in centre mid, it does seem a bit aimless. Their passing as Gorry just about keeps that one in. Semler. Dawu with the strong challenge. And Warriors managed to win the ball, much to the chagrin young Hockey Semler.
Yeah, good to see him just not quite giving the ball back there too, just buying his defence a little bit of time. You've got to do those sort of dark arts as a young defender and learn them well. You can't afford to sell your team short at the back, as Kemp attempted a bit of juggling, but just gave it away to Mearns, who finds Brown. He curls it into the back stick, but well gathered there by Chase Weebert. He's done a fantastic job there because he had a man arriving at the back stick, and that could have been trouble there. Kurdistan with a beautiful interception. Floats the ball over the top, and it's chipped over, but well defended there. You've just got to say there, Lucas Hill denying him on the line. And getting in there for South Hobart was Berezanski, so close to opening us up.
Oh, just one mountain too far there for South Hobart, as that's a lovely chip from Berezanski. Didn't get much pace on it. Hill almost hesitated, but it was just him timing himself to get enough power on that header, as there's a bit of confusion going on in live play. Nothing seems to have happened since we switched to that replay, but Hill doing very well to track back and make the goal line clearance. It's not quite up there in terms of James Milner spectacular, but still very necessary for his side.
Yeah, but as many of our fans would say, not bad. Not bad at all.
South with, I believe, the first corner of the match.
Well, the first two corners for Olympia. I think the first year for South, as you rightly raise.
Gorry's shanked a couple of clearances there and nearly given an opportunity for South. Everyone had cleared the area out though, as Brown identified where some space was and just fires into the back of his teammate. Now Mearns out to Gorry. He'll run inside. Kemp can't do anything about that. Good ball there from Ryan. The flag stays down. Jack Ryan, and not enough power on that one. He's tried to go between the legs of the keeper. Did not get enough on that, did the big Englishman. Good challenge. Putting his head in the way there. Knew Declan Brown was about to commit. That'll relieve some pressure. But for your import striker, you'd kind of expect a bit more from that chance, I reckon.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing that he couldn't get. I would have preferred him to be looking for the far post there, but you know, he's done far better than either of us would in that situation. Absolutely. There as Jack Ryan managing to get the shot on target, but Chase Weebert was equal to it. So Kemp now just really copying one in the back of the scone there from Jack Ryan, just flying through really. Gorry gets a horrible up and under clearance. It was an acrobatic attempt to play Casper Hallam through there from CR Kurdistan, but Olympia will get away with the ball now. Stuck to his task well, did Hawaiian. But Olympia in transition quick. Here's the directness of the Browns. Beautiful dribbling skills, plays him through. He's onside here, he's Jack Ryan! And he'd open the scoring for Olympia, and that'll be 1-0. No VAR to make us worry about that one. Goal Olympia.
Yeah, he's been on fire all pre-season, Jack Ryan. He's threatened early in this one. The flag stayed down on this occasion. He was slightly stiff earlier in the half, but he gets them off and running. A clinical finish. He doesn't miss those ones. Jack Ryan puts the Warriors in front. And again, it was the Browns causing the damage at the back. He sneaks in behind. It's a good finish there. Past the keeper. 1-0 Warriors. And he has looked a big threat in the opening 20 minutes.
He's almost scored that one as if he was taking a penalty. He's half dummied it and waited for the keeper to shift his body weight to one side and then calmly just rolled it in the other one there. Experience from the Warriors, number 9, returning for another season here in Tassie, and he looking the good so far.
He's not backwards at coming forwards, is he? Certainly did a good job to get in behind there, did Jack Ryan. Timed that run to perfection. A little bit of help getting played onside, but can South Hobart respond here? It's Kurdistan just looking to hold on to the ball there and plays it to Hawaiian, who copped a good bump there from Brown to just shift the balance away. And they'll get a throw here, will South Hobart.
It's now like a Seljak. I think he was trying to toe that through to Kurdistan, who was offside anyway. Not much happening there. There'll be another Warriors goal kick. Well, we've got a slight lull in play. I'm sure all of us here at Slice of Cheese like to wish a get well soon to Ken Morton. He's missing on the sideline today for the first time for any game I can remember, having a bit of surgery at the moment. So it's Ned Clark managing the side today. So I'm sure Ken, if he's up and about, will be watching his side. So get well soon, Ken.
Yeah, certainly echo that one. Done a lot for that club, South Hobart, and done a lot for these young men who have developed under them. But beautiful there from the postman, Wadawu finds Brown, teasing ball across, and Kibler nearly made a meal of it. Oh dear there. Sounds a little bit like a pet food, Brown, and he nearly made a right meal of that one.
You could just see that coming off the shoelaces and heading into the netting, could you? There's Mearns turning away from trouble. O'Connor looking to try and play through to Gorry and just couldn't get his angles right. Falls to Berezanski. Larby intercepted by Hill. And a Mountain striding forward. Good dummy, leaving it for Declan Brown. Now with Darwood. Back to Brown. Hits it towards Ryan, but the final pass not quite there. And Hallam has a chance to storm forward. He'll run away from a lot of people. One of them is in his opposite 17, but he commits the foul. And
a few people asking for the cheese here, aren't they?
They are. I'm just not sure if Callum Brown needed to do that, as his slightly longer stride meant he was catching up to Casper Hallam.
Yeah, Casper Hallam certainly asking the question of Thomas Mace, an official in the middle. Did the under-20s statewide cup final last year, but a first senior cup final appearance for Thomas Mace today. Very promising referee coming through as Adam Gorry swings this one through, looking for Warren Wadawu. Might fall for the postman. Works it back there towards Mearns. PK able to steer this one away. Hallam against Kobayashi. And it falls the way of the dangerous Callum Brown. Now look up. Jack Ryan calling for it early. Instead, opts to find Mearns. The best ball to Wadawu, but he made it work. He'll drive to the byline, looked across for Ryan. Ryan's there, great save. Chase Wayward gets down and makes a crucial block there. Could so easily have been 2-0. It was an expertly timed run from Ryan. Great goalkeeping that.
Yeah, great goalkeeping because he anticipated perfectly where the shot is, but it's Brown who's getting in here for Olympia again. Finds Gorry. Ambitious there from Gorry. But again, ambition is something that we do not mind at Slice of Cheese because we appreciate the spectacular, and that would have been certainly pretty spectacular from the Eastern Shore's favourite ranger.
Good save again on replay there.
And, thank you to Jennifer Marriott. It's Webbit is the pronunciation there. Watching live from California.
I love being corrected early in the season. Not 2 years later. It's amazing.
You know, it was running through my mind a couple of times to ask you there, Andrew, too, but just went with our obviously incorrect call as Brown looks to get an incredible lob, and it was on target. Can you believe that? That would have been one of the more extraordinary goals that we've seen out here at KG5.
And Webbit doing just enough to palm that one away. As we have a look. And again on replay, it's one of those annoying ones for a keeper where it's just dipping underneath the crossbar. And eventually Hallam was the one who cleared it away. Now the Warriors have another chance for their tall timber. This one goes into the middle towards Hill, knocks it down, but Webbit comfortably claims. And he thought about going early towards Hallam. In the end defers and goes out the other side through Semler. Getting a head up and playing it forward. Kurdistan running in behind Hill. He's composed back to Smith.
Look, I tell you what, he may not have had much impact yet, but he's got presence. Does Kurdistan as the speculative shot came in from distance there from, I think, Toby Huwainen. Certainly not repeating his heroics that he's had in another cup final.
Yeah, a bit closer his previous cup final heroics. Not quite the 35-yard spectacular. Not South. Maybe heeding the words of their reserve goalkeeper, Mark Moncourt, before. He was urging them to play with a bit more urgency. Need to come to life a little bit more. I'll have the chance to build something here.
He's got a bit of presence down there too, does Mark Moncourt, with the encouragement as O'Connor battles with Kurdistan. One's Laka Seljak in the middle, who was very clearly clipped there by Mearns. And correctly called from the referee. There's a little bit of advice comes in from the south bench.
Yeah, Moncourt just actively encouraging Thomas Mace to discover where his cards are. Still firmly in his pocket.
Doesn't always help you telling referees to do that, does it? As Kemp puts this one to the back stick. And the keeper comes, and he comes unnecessarily, and Lucas Hill bails him out there. A little bit shaky there from Davis Smith at the back. But they're in transition now, our Olympia. Brown looked to play Gorry through, but he'd had a task set for him because his man Berezanski was sticking to him. Hot Dogs Kobayashi now. Looks across wide. Finds Brown. He finds the overlapping O'Connor. He's got a couple in the middle. Jack Ryan now! And he's scored two! Jack Ryan at the double in the Summer Cup final for Olympia. And he is tearing this game open now. Beautiful work at the back stick.
Great work all around there from the Warriors, from Kobayashi finding the space. Callum Brown was in an absolute acre on this grandstand, and he saw the overlap of O'Connor. No second defender coming. That's always dangerous. He just had to set aside the pass. Ryan holds his run. First time ball into the ground, over the keeper. 2-0 to the Warriors. And you can't say it hasn't been deserved based on their first half performance so far.
Yeah, you think so. South have managed to get up the field a few times. It hasn't been all Warriors, but they've looked a lot better in the final third, haven't they, the Warriors? And the way that they're getting their fullbacks to overlap too is something that should spell worries for the league, because it was something that's been missing a little bit from the Warriors of the last couple of years, and it's an area that they've really set out to address with those additions that we were talking about earlier. Laka Seljak now finds Kurdistan in the middle with another speculative shot. Didn't quite wrap his foot around that.
Yeah, O'Connor looking very good at left back, getting up and down this near touchline, and I'd say they've not really had a natural fullback since Luke Isles, and you've got to go back to 2015 when they won the title. I don't think they ever really replaced him directly, as Kurdistan looking to bust along and get in behind again, sliding in a little bit late there on the keeper. I think he got too much of Davis Smith there, but enough to draw a talking to from Thomas Mace.
Yeah, no calls for the yellow card from the south bench on that one, but very possibly could have had it.
Again, the keeper already had the ball in his hands, but I think he decided to slide there. It's not the greatest challenge I've ever seen, but you know, I agree with you there, Andrew. We've lamented over many years the Warriors going with the sort of almost 4 centre-back policy on the wings there. Obviously, our good friend at Slice of Cheese, John O'Griffiths, would have something to say about your fullback theory if he's ever tuning in when he's not at the beach. But, I certainly agree. And so good to see Luke Hole's still kicking around in the NPL Vic as well.
Look, Jono Griffiths has shown in the social competitions he's a natural midfielder. That's all I'll say about that. As this one's knotted down. Here's Ryan already on a hat-trick. Looking very powerful. Knocked it back to Mearns. Mearns deftly over the top. Ryan looking for Brown. Away, and it's Brown on the follow-up. Just wide of the mark. Didn't catch it there. Brown of the Declan variety. It sat for him, but he didn't get the contact he was after. And they're looking dangerous going forward, South, but at the back, they're struggling to cope with the sheer numbers being thrown at them at the moment by Olympia.
Yeah, and I think a little bit of the inexperience is showing a bit there, particularly in the way that O'Connor and Gorry are getting free at times up the flank. Have to be committed to your player, just like he was there, Casper Hallam. And he's going to have to be sticking with him all day because he's going to keep doing that all day. Looking to progress up the line there with South, but keeping good shape too, aren't they, Olympia?
Yeah, very much are. And it's amazing, we were talking about their fullbacks before, they don't even have their more attacking fullback on the field, and yet O'Connor still showing the ability to get up and down the pitch as Hallam tries the nutmeg on Brown. Like a Seljack. Kurdistan using his body well. Hallam coming around the outside. Kobayashi squaring him up. Hallam trying all the tricks in the book. And eventually, between the two of them, it'll fall. There's a goal kick for the Warriors.
He battles away well in the contest, though, doesn't he?
Yeah. It's it just probably has a growth spurt in him, I think, there's Casper Hallam.
He's a very exciting young prospect. He's got some serious pace and skill about him. As you say, still got some growing to do. And certainly a physical advantage the Warriors defenders will have on him, but he can certainly make defenders chase at shadows the way he moves. Here's O'Connor. Good start to the game from him, and he lofts this one forward for Wadawu, looking to get in behind of Morton. He gets goal side and tries to beat Webbert, who shuts that down at the near post. But they've turned it over immediately to Adam Gorry, who's stormed forward, continuing his run. They go to the opposite flank. Callum Brown now, trying to find some space to shoot. It's Callum Brown, but Toby Havainen gets a crucial foot in and plays it off of Brown for the goal kick. Well defended there from Havainen. They're struggling to cope at the back at the moment, the South Hobart defence. And they're struggling to play out too. Nick Mearns almost forcing another turnover there. They're quick to pounce. Semler. Gorry chipping it forwards. Jack Ryan up against Kibler, who does pretty well. Played it for Semler. Walking the tightrope, but they've turned it over yet again here. Just a bit too easy at the moment. They're ceding possession too lightly, South Hobart. They get a reprieve here with the offside flag raised on the postman.
Just on initial look, I wasn't quite sure if he was offside there, but we're not quite right in line here.
Oh, I had a great view of our camera woman's back just then. I had to switch over to the screen, and I just missed that chance, unfortunately, but it's always worth a second look when it's a decision for South for me.
South still not quite able to play out from the back as crisply as they'd like. But now they go through PK.
It's a good press being implemented from Olympia here at the moment.
Keeping nice and high, their front six especially. You see Kobayashi there running up. Mutawu. Just for contrast, Kobe Kemp now on his own penalty spot. Pressure relieved slightly as they drop back. Now like a Seljack. Trying to find Semler out wide. Gorry. Mutawu this time was offside. Not sure if Jack Ryan was. Flag stays down. Ryan for the hat-trick in the first half, if you don't mind. He's been clinical all day, and that is 3-0 to the Warriors.
And how about that for nonchalance? He just completes his hat-trick in the first half of a cup final, and he just shrugs, just shows both palms and says, all in another day's work for Jack Ryan. Marvellous work from that man, and he has blown South Hobart away in the first 34 minutes of the game.
It's a beautiful striker's finish, that one. It's even I reckon that's one of the reasons we got those new nets, is it just even did that perfect curl around it you get when it's nice and tense.
He's just gone, not
perfect.
not bad at all.
I think Jack Ryan's got the complete opposite accent to that with his slightly burly Northern Lake District accent, but close enough. As Kurdistan trying to liven up South Hobart in some way as Mearns tries to turn through traffic. And Declan Brown. It's all getting a bit scrappy on that far side.
Beth not bad is a famous Tasmanian saying, Paul, if you weren't aware of it.
Yes. We probably should try and get him to a game like the Wanderers did in the A-League when Not Bad Good Size took off. Just have him around the grounds. Love to see him here.
Yeah.
Now
really.
Callum Brown running at the defence. His brother is in acres of space on the far side. Mearns a bit too slow to do it. He might now get an opportunity if he's not fouled in the meantime by PK, and eventually it's given. Offers him up. Doesn't want a bar of it, does Brown. And he's done just about everything there in the band of skill except point at the scoreboard. That's what I was expecting next.
Still time for that, the way things are going. It's been the Jack Ryan show in the first 35 minutes of the Summer Cup final. He's stunned South Hobart here. They've had no answer for the big Englishman. He's proved overwhelming. He's matching himself up on Toby Havainen at this set piece, but I fancy O'Connor might just stop to test the keeper instead with the shot.
If this one goes in, then I'd be worried about a smug alert coming from the vicinity of a certain club president.
Well, a chance here for O'Connor. He steps up and bends it well over the bar. Straight over the aforementioned president there. I think we'll just be loving life behind the goals. George Marcus, it's gone perfectly for the Warriors fans in attendance here. They couldn't have scripted a better first 35 than this.
I think George would love this year to be staking the claim as the premier club of the Eastern Shore too. That'll be high on his priority list, but not just that. He wants to be the premier club in the state as South get into a good bit of space here. But just played off the back heel of Lucas Hill, and I think that Larby may have been, or Berezanski rather, may have been offside just then. Regardless, but Riley Morton getting hassled and harried there by Ryan, the hat-trick scorer. And it really is becoming all Olympia now as the nutmeg comes into play from Brown too, and he gets a bit of a response from the crowd. They're having a bit of fun now.
This is the 35th minute, not the 85th minute. There's Ryan will chase after this one. Just about keeps it in play. O'Connor, low ball intercepted by Riley Morton. Now Brown beats one, goes another go. Surely fouled. Play on. O'Connor's offside. Flags up. Play still goes on. Wadawu. Brown just fires that into the chest of PK. Well after the whistle had gone. And
well, if that's Robin Van Persie against Barcelona, that's a send-off, and I'm not still bitter about that. But
that's a penalty.
That's a penalty.
Yeah, that one is worth another look, isn't it?
Well, they were approved there. It's 3-0, and they've had probably an erroneous offside flag and a fair shout for a penalty turned down. The Warriors, it could yet have been worse. This young South Hobart team just struggling to cope at the back at the moment. It's yeah, certainly a bit unnecessary, I think, there from Declan, just coming in and blasting it afterwards, taking out his frustrations. A few calls for a booking, none heeded. Nick Mearns up against Laka Seljak in midfield. Kobe Kemp. They need the South midfield brigade to step up here and start winning the ball a little more often. It's all one-way traffic at the moment. Adam Gorry slides it through for the postman, and once again, just straight offside. Shuts down that attack, but I think South are just baying for the half-time whistle at the moment. They've still got 7.5 minutes to go, but it's been a pretty tough half, and Semler trying to get around Brown. At least keep a hold of the ball here.
Well, they'll be baying for it. They'll be praying for it. They'll be hoping that their fans are going to be staying for it, because it could easily be game over here unless they respond very quickly, I think. South Hobart. Semler now just knocks the ball up and over. Laka Seljak tried the flare move there, but didn't quite manage to pull it off. Despite being 3-0 down, that man Kibler hasn't had an appalling game, but he has been under siege as Casper Hallam showing his pace there. He's getting a little bit done for strength there by O'Connor, who knocks that one out for a corner. Very important chance for South to respond here, but they're going to be a little bit done for height at the set pieces, so I'd be surprised to see Hallam and Lackaseljak maybe combine here. It's as though they'll be curling it in though.
Well, here comes Savinen unchecked. Do go there to Tobias Savinen. Return ball. I think O'Connor played him onside there. Lackaseljak towards the back. Shot Berezetsky, and it's ended up wide. Play will still continue. Kemp on the far side. Keeps it in. Back to Berezanski. Larby. Muscled off it by Hill. Brown. Mearns. There's a lot of players forward for the Warriors. One of them's Brown. Tries to turn around Havinen, who does well to stay to his task. Clipped as well and slid afterwards. Now Lackaseljak. Kurdistan has time to chest. Turn. Volley straight at the keeper, Smith. Yeah, time to do everything there, Kurdistan. And he didn't quite find a corner.
Wouldn't mind another look at that first save David Smith made too.
Yeah, it was a good one.
It was a great reaction save.
Intelligently worked from South Hobart in what was their best bit of play for the day so far. Intelligent to just not lump that one in with the lack of height. And drew a very good save there from Davis Smith, who did well to get across to the back stick. We'll have another look at it now.
Well worked short corner.
Yeah, Huwainen and Lackaseljak combining there. And
that's big.
It's a very good save, at a very comfortable height too, though.
Did well to get across. To position himself at the front post for the corner. Shot across, and the Mountain Lucas Hill very appreciative of his efforts, and always love it when the keeper G's himself up after a big save like that. Just shows a bit of passion. Get around me, lads, type stuff. But really, South needed that one. They've shown a couple of better signs in the last few moments. They have posed questions at the back. It's just been their inability to deal with Jack Ryan and the overlapping fullbacks at the other end. That's been their undoing in this one. Starting to get a foothold in this game. If they could pull one back before half-time, might just give them something to cling to. Heading into the second at 45 minutes as we enter the final 5 minutes of this first half. But Olympia firmly in the ascendancy here as Lackaseljak competing with his former teammate Gorry there in the air.
Might be time for a pay rise for Jack Ryan.
Jeez, if he's on a goals per game ratio, he's off to a pretty good start here. He's been banging them in for fun all summer cup, and that has continued today.
15% per goal signing bonus of the old FIFAs. Beautiful classic. I bet he's got that one in the contract.
This one's worked back from Berezanski. Kibler, nice pass to Larby. Now Havinen. South playing out from the back nicely. Hallam will make a bursting run, and that's where he heads. Just took a bit of a spin on him, though. Just a little bit unlucky there, Casper Hallam. O'Connor, heavy touch, allows Hallam back in. Havinen. Kurdistan, well broken up by Pacey Main, the youngster anticipating that nicely. Lost it back to Lackaseljak, though. Here's Havinen. Toby Havinen bending it in. Kobe Kemp had made a run forward. Lucas Hill just losing that one in the sun a little bit. Now Wadzawu waited on it. That allowed Kibler in. Dangerous ball. How's it going to sit? Oh, well done Kurdistan. Just created space there for Kemp. Now Casper Hallam, but the elevator door slamming shut on him there. Still they push on an attack. Kurdistan looking for Kemp. It's Kobe Kemp. Who's he fouled afterwards? He is. The keeper's knocked him and scored out of play, and Thomas Mason's pointed to the spot here. The keeper can't believe it. But a penalty's been blown and a lifeline for South Hobart just before the break here.
I need a replay of that. Love a replay of that. Maybe just wind it back even 5 seconds more. I mean, is the ball already out of play? And the challenge is made. Smith still not happy about it.
It's the drama of the cup. Game on here.
Yes, I'm not sure if we're allowed to use the magic of the cup hashtag for this one. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, if you're going to give that one, I think you have to give the other one up here, providing the flag's not up.
Not for me, that one. But look, South Hobart with the chance.
Look, at 3-0 inside the first.
It's for the drama.
In the 44th minute, I say it was an excellent call from the referee. And, just a great decision, I think.
Well, the contest's sake, Certainly, I'm not sure David Smith would agree, but he has the chance to save this one. It's going to be Kobe Kemp taking for South Hobart. Can he give them a lifeline just before the break? He steps up here, Kemp, and he sends the keeper the wrong way. It's 3-1, and South Hobart gets something to cling to take into the halftime break. A fortuitous one, I think, but they do strike back. 3-1 the score. Bit of a softie, but they take full advantage.
Hopefully that puts a little bit of wind in their sails and resurrects this one a little bit as a contest, because there have been times where South Hobart have looked fairly good in this game, but they've just struggled to stand up to Olympia's quick ball movement. And they look to get that going again here. The ball towards the postman, but Kibler manages to sort it out after a brief period of dispute.
O'Connor now to Ryan, trying the fancy flick, and he's going to track back on Mearns' behalf now. He's given it away. Hallam getting the matchup he wants against Pacey Main. Kurdistan trying to use his body well, but just goes down there. And goal kick. One person, I think, was appealing for a penalty there, and everyone in attendance here.
It was a bit Son-like there from CR Kurdistan. It was a little bit, yeah, you've gone down looking for a penalty, but you haven't made it look convincing enough, so you're not really going to appeal for it.
Yeah. It's a very good reference, that.
Yeah, very Son-like, that one.
So we're into the 45th minute. I have not seen if any added time's been given or not. Kobayashi and Brown. Pumped forward, Kurdistan. Once again, will he take the shot on early? He decides against it. Berezanski's up against Gorry. High up in the air. Hallam still buzzing around. It's Casper Hallam with the shot. Another good save there from Smith. Falls to the top of the box with the shot. Kemp. Now Gorry falls to Hallam again, who this time is offside.
And the fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 1 minute.
Glenn McGill giving us the 1 minute, but another strong save would have stung the pans of Smith there. South would have been very interesting going in at 3-2.
Exceptionally interesting, Paul, and I think certainly us here as neutrals would have appreciated it, but he's been up to the task when his team have needed him, as Davis Smith. It just sounds hyphenated to me. As he gets ready to launch this one long. Just about used up the entire minute there, I reckon, so it'll be probably just one last attack, if that, here. And Mearns, it's good to see him back in full flight now. The ball's not really gotten out of dispute in the centre of the ground now.
Look at the watch there from Mace. And with the ball in the centre of the park, he decides to blow the whistle for half-time here at the Men's Summer Cup Final. It's the Warriors dominant throughout, but only go in with a 3-1 advantage. Jack Ryan, the hat-trick hero.
So who's your man of the match at half-time there, boys?
Yeah, tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard. Difficult.
Look, the Jack Ryan show very much is a bit of argy-bargy. Nick Mearns never shy of a word, and just having a few to say to see Kurdistan as they walk off here.
He's got presence. He's got presence, does Kurdistan.
And Mearns, one of the all-time great trash talkers out there on the pitch, and he was having a fair bit to say. But an action-packed first half, that one, I think it's fair to say. So many chances at both ends. It's been a very open game. It was all Olympia early on. Jack Ryan with a treble. He fired in 3, but then South in the last 10 minutes fighting back well. Got a penalty. They took it and put it back to 3-1. And Davis Smith made 2 very good saves himself. So South have created some chances. They've just been unable to handle the big Englishman at the other end, who has run absolutely right. A man who I think must be considered as a chief favourite for the Golden Boot in the upcoming NPL season.
The thing that is, I think, most extraordinary about him is you don't see him making a lot of unnecessary runs. He conserves his energy in the way that a striker should, I think, so that he can be explosive in the right moments, as Jack Ryan, and that was really his half, I think, gentlemen.
It certainly was. We will leave you with those highlights and be back in around about 10 minutes' time or so with the second half here. Can South produce a late rally, or will the Jack Ryan show continue? Do stick around to find out.
in a manner that enhances rather than injures the reputation and goodwill of FFA and football generally.
Casper Hallam now. And a bit of a tame shot there.
At the new Olympia number 1, bodies in the middle. The mountain Lucas Hill at the near post looking threatening, but doesn't get anywhere near past Tobias Sawainen, who knocks that
30 to 120, I think it was. As Jack Ryan almost getting in there, raking back to live play. But yep, that is the story behind that salad. And as you say, former South Hobart man Adam Gorry, and that's a lovely ball over the top. Jack Ryan's in behind, and the flag's been raised on him.
Run at players and make them afraid of that, but he's also capable of dishing off the passes. Kurdistan gets on, and easy look to hit that one from distance, but just...
In the first 6 minutes, he's been pretty much starting on Hill and then running diagonally across as Lachlan O'Connor's gone the tunnel there.
Curious about the kind of direction the breeze is coming in. But you are right, it will be a bit of a factor today as a fierce contest came in there.
His hand up to really fill some of that space as Kurdistan tries the most ambitious of efforts, and
Hill manages to get a leg in. Berezanski was in all kinds of space there. He still is, unfortunately, right down the arms of the keeper there from Berezanski.
Charges through, gets the better of Morton, swings in across for Jack Ryan! Nodded straight at Chase Wabert, who makes the save. It was a great... Now Kurdistan. Not quite find Berezanski, but yeah, a good tempo to this game early on, fellas. End to end, and most
Like we'll be seeing a fair bit throughout this NPL Taz season. Gorry with the return ball is offside. And it's expertly done there from the South defence. You could
Just gave it away to Mearns, who finds Brown. He curls it into the back stick, but well gathered there by Chase Weaver. He's done a fantastic, and that could have been trouble there. Kurdistan with a beautiful interception. Floats the ball over the top, and it's chipped over, but well defended there. You've just got to say there, Lucas Hill denying
can't
him.
do anything about that. Good ball there from Ryan. The flag stays down. Jack Ryan, and not enough power on that one. He's tried to go between the legs of the keeper. Did not get enough on that, did the big Englishman. Good challenge. Putting his head in the way.
Browns. Beautiful dribbling skills, plays him through. He's onside here, he's Jack Ryan! And he'd open the scoring for Olympia, and that'll be 1-0. No VAR to make us worry about that one. Goal Olympia.
Yeah, he's been on fire all pre-season, Jack Ryan. He's threatened early in this.
Done a lot for that club, South Hobart, and done a lot for these young men who have developed under them. But beautiful there from the postman, Wadawu, finds Brown. Teasing ball across, and Kibler nearly made a meal of it. Oh dear there.
Pass not quite there, and Hallam has a chance to storm forward. He'll run away from a lot of people. One of them is in his opposite 17, but he commits the foul.
But he made it work. He'll drive to the byline, looked across for Ryan. Ryan's there, great save. Chase Wabert gets down and makes a crucial block there.
He anticipated perfectly where the shot is, but it's Brown who's getting in here for Olympia again. Finds Gorry. Ambitious there from Gorry without obviously incorrect call as Brown looks to get an incredible lob, and it was on target. Can you believe that? That would have been one of the more extraordinary. He may not have had much impact yet, but he's got presence. Does Kurdistan as the speculative shot came in from distance there. As O'Connor battles with Kurdistan. There's Laka Seljak in the middle, who was very clearly clipped there by Mearns. Finds Brown. He finds the overlapping O'Connor. He's got a couple in the middle. Jack Ryan now, and he scored 2. Jack Ryan at the double in the Summer Cup final for Olympia, and he is tearing this game open now. Beautiful work at the back stick.
Great work all around there from
There's Kurdistan looking to bust along and get in behind again. Sliding in a little bit late there on the keeper. I think he got too much of Davis Smith there. But enough. Hat-trick looking very powerful. Knocked it back to Mearns. Mearns deftly over the top. Ryan looking for Brown. Away, and it's Brown on the follow-up. Just wide of the mark. Didn't catch it there. Brown of the Declan variety.
Gorry. Wadawu this time was offside. Not sure if Jack Ryan was. Flag stays down. Ryan for the hat-trick in the first half, if you don't mind. He's been clinical all day, and that is 3-0 to the Warriors.
And how about that?
He's a bit too slow to do it. He might now get an opportunity if he's not fouled in the meantime by PK, and eventually it's given. Offers him up, doesn't want to
Scorer. really is becoming all Olympia now as the nutmeg comes into play from Brown too, and he gets a bit of a response from the crowd.
By Riley Morton. Now Brown beats one. Goes another go. Surely fouled. Play on. O'Connor's offside. Flags up. Play still goes on with Darwood. Brown just fires that into the chest of PK. Do go there to Tobias Avainen. Return ball. I think O'Connor played him onside there. Lakaseljic towards the back. Shot Berezetsky, and it's ended up wide. Play will still continue. Kemp on the far. Do go there to Tobias Avainen. Return ball. I think O'Connor played him onside there. Lakaseljic towards the back. Shot Berezetsky, and it's ended up wide. Play will still continue. Kemp on the afterwards. Lakaseljic. Kurdistan has time to chest. Turn. Volley straight at the keeper, Smith. Yeah, time to do everything there, Kurdistan.
Still they push on an attack. Kurdistan looking for Kemp. It's Kobe Kemp. Who's he fouled afterwards? He is. The keeper's knocked him and scored out of play, and Thomas Mason's pointed to the spot here. The keeper can't believe it. The penalty's been blown. Another lifeline just before the break. He steps up here, Kemp. And he sends the keeper the wrong way. It's 3-1, and South Hobart gets something to cling to take into the halftime break. A fortuitous one, I think. Lifeline just before the break. And steps up here, Kemp. And he sends the keeper the wrong way. It's 3-1, and South Hobart gets something to cling to take into the halftime break. A fortuitous one, I think.
Gorry. High up in the air. Hallam still buzzing around. It's Casper Hallam with the shot. Another good save there from Smith. Falls to the top of the box.
And ladies and gentlemen, can you please welcome your teams back onto the pitch? Two substitutions for Olympia FC Warriors. Coming off, David Smith. Coming on, Darby Randall.
Well, a
Also
switch
coming
has
on,
been
number
made.
17, Callum Brown. And coming on, number 10, Joffrey and Coso.
Well, a double switch has been pulled by the Warriors at half-time. Not content with a 3-1 lead. They've gone, we're going to replace our keeper. So Darby Randall has come on for David Smith, and Callum Brown has also been replaced by Joffrey and Coso. Not a bad sub to have up your sleeve, Joffrey, but I'm guessing that was probably a predetermined thing. Still on limited minutes, Callum Brown, having only recently returned to the pre-season action.
It's a good fade he's representing there too, Joffrey and Coso. I've got to give the man credit for that haircut. He's looking sharp. Wonder if his football skills will be as sharp as that do.
Between you stealing my first comment and Andrew's salad tales, I think I'm going to have to remove Salad Observer here from my Twitter profile, the way you guys are going.
Oh, you've rubbed off on us, Paul. It's great content. Absolutely the content we're after at Slice of Chase. But not bad to be able to just bring the king of the handles on at half-time. Fairly handy player, one of the most dominant forwards in the competition over the past couple of years. Look forward to seeing what he can bring.
Has he got another 30-yarder in him against South, like that beauty, that thunderbolt that we saw at Darcy Street?
It was a cracker, but certainly something else for the South Hobart defence to contend with, and they've had their hands full with Jack Ryan in that first half. A hat-trick from the Englishman, if you're just tuning in, has them 3-1 ahead. It was a late penalty dispatched by Kobe Kemp that has pulled them back within 2, but still with it all to do in this second half. South Hobart, Gorry, the former South fullback, now lining up for the Warriors. We'll just let this one bounce. And
he's been to a few top clubs now, has Gorry. Isn't really a player with the nickname the Mercenary, but certainly could be the one that earns that moniker as South start to get onto the ball. Good combination from Hallam and Kurdistan. He's a mile offside, but Hallam isn't. He competes there with Lucas Hill, just sticking the long arms out there like an albatross, really, on Hallam. Just crowded him out of that space there.
I was going to say like him making his way to the front of the cargo bar line there, but it's a little better analogy. Here's Ryan.
I think yours is a more accurate one, though, Paul Hunt.
There's Nkoso getting his first touch of the match, running at Havinen. Goes back to Brown. Nkoso. Ryan offside, and Nkoso can't keep that one under his spell. Now it falls to Brown. No foul given. Marcus Seljuk with a clean challenge, and Brown returns the favour as well. So Connor has to play it out towards Wadawu. Semler, Morton. Given that one as handball, and Mearns looking to take it quickly. Ryan does so, and Koso. The handles sizing up his opponent. Drops the step over, just about running out of real estate. And Webbert comfortably claims.
Bit of a cross-come shot there from Nkoso, just running out of space, just tried to hammer it across. It's a nice ball up the line here from Casper Hallam. Finds Kurdistan, who's holding up well. Not really getting many options from his teammates are there, and he might have just given one a spray there, but clear foul from Mearns on Ewan Larby, and rightly called by our referee. Interesting to see what South opt for here. Suspect this one may be taken short. Kibler is making his way up now, so game that I watched South Hobart play. Another good young striker here with a bit of guile and a bit of movement. And we see Morabu switched for the great man, the postman, Warren Wadawu. Just after getting his last warning from the referee, probably a wise thing to do from the manager Brown of Olympia. Just making sure that they don't get reduced to 10 men through anything silly there. When some players are on the last warning, it's often a good move.
No, it's a very sensible move from Andrew Brown, experienced manager, doing the right thing. The writing was on the wall after that aforementioned chat between referee captain and Wadawu. Interesting to see where Marabu lines up. And Morton Knocks it forward. Oh, nearly falls to Lakaseljak, who has got in between Gorry and Hill. Mearns knocks it back. Now cleared upfield. Nice punt forward for Lakaseljak. Good 1-2 with Semler. Gorry coming across to clear. After a scrappy first 5 or 10 minutes. Really is starting to go the way of South. Maybe the chippiness and cockiness of the Warriors that they were experiencing about the 35th minute certainly has disappeared for the moment.
It has evaporated, Paul.
Well, apologies to our viewers out there who wouldn't have been seeing the last few minutes. South Hobart have pulled a goal back. It is now 3-2. Casper Hallam racing in on goal and thumping one home. And we have a ball game. The momentum in this game has really shifted ever since the feed dropped out. Basically, it has been all South Hobart. They are piling it on right now and taking it right up to the Warriors. And the Warriors, who were so dominant in the first half, suddenly looking a little bit rattled. Another corner here for South Hobart. They've brought on Sam Toos. We'll see Kurdistan and a few nervous Warriors in attendance here all of a sudden. Not sitting as comfortably as they were 15 minutes ago, lads.
No, certainly not. And intelligent play there from young Lockie Semler to earn them the corner here. And it's struck to the back post, but too much curl, too much height. Straight out of play there. Disappointing from Kobe Kemp, not up to the usual standards of his delivery. But as you rightly say, Andrew, we've got a game out there, and we've seen the introduction, as you raised, of Sam Toos.
We'll see if we can get a replay of that Hallam goal, if we can, that you would have missed there. Has brought it back to 3-2. It's quite a tidy finish from the young man.
Yeah, very tidy finish. It's not the greatest goal kick in
just
Darby Randall's career.
Pressure back on, doesn't it, Paul?
Certainly does, as the other substitute there getting on the ball. Joseph Moarabu's also come on for Wadawu, and you missed his big chat with the referee. That is the reason Brown has elected to send him off. Good use of the body there from the mountain. Hill up to Gorry. Good flick towards Declan Brown. Mearns punts it forward, rather aimlessly right to Havainen. Now Kemp. Out to Semler. Just out of the range of the substitute Sam Toos. Whilst they've lost the experiences, we have a look at this goal again. Casper Hallam coming from absolutely nowhere. And just getting the wrong side and laces that one into the corner. Tidy finish from the youngster. That's what's made it a ball game here so far.
Very exciting player, Casper Hallam. And South Hobart, this game has really swung. There is a bit of a breeze advantage, but you wouldn't have thought it would impact things quite this much. But Olympia dominated the first half, and now it's South Hobart. The youngsters really taking it up to them. Jack Ryan, who was running absolutely right in that first half, they've just not been able to get the ball up in his direction of late.
I think the entire time we were not on air, I don't think we called his name. He has been relatively absent, and again, the long ball doesn't reach him this time either. Semler, good use of the body there again from Toos, but touches it out of play. Here's Eastern Shore's favourite ranger, Adam Gorry. He absolutely shanks that clearance right to Casper Hallam, who gets the return ball off Toos. Toos coming on the outside. Hallam's going to go in that direction too. Sam Toos with the shot. And it's out. And out for a goal kick. Randall looked like he had his angles covered there.
Did that just strike the outside of the post?
Well,
that
I feel like it did.
A little bit closer than I think it suggested
did
there.
Randall really thought he had his angles covered.
Oh, he did.
He did, just.
Judged it to perfection.
Down to the centimetre, I would say, actually, in fact. So, a bit of credit there for Darby Randall. And a little bit of handball, but
maybe a bit more handball.
Fairly inadvertent, but the refs paid it. So just another chance for South to get back on the ball here. Really sure where the dominance has come from for them. It seems as though the Warriors have lost a little bit of the ability to press, and when moving the ball forwards, they are rushing it a little bit.
I don't know if our referees manager, Tony Pert's been showing many Mike Dean clips, but a lot of these referees loving the ball running through the legs, nutmeg style here today. Mace has done it. Green did it in the Women's Summer Cup final as well. Right from the Mike Dean school of refereeing that one. There's now Adam Gorry goes on the charge. There's Mearns on the overlap. Mearns returns the favour, but well deflected there.
Although
Young Semler.
if Mike Dean was refereeing today, we'd see step overs and he'd find a way to pay a penalty against Arsenal. I can tell you that much. He'd find a way. So we see Mearns now back onto the game. Certainly one of the most talented midfielders in the state is Mearns. But was well stuck to there by young Lockie Semler, who's really grown into the game, I think.
Yeah, he's bounced back well. Adjusting to senior football is a tough sledding out there first half. Mearns turning dangerously into the box. Well dealt with by the South Hobart defence though. And here's the substitute Sam Toos, who's added a little something in attack. Very different type of operator to Kurdistan. It was the more typical power forward target man. Toos will be the speedster looking to nip him behind and use his pace. Definitely a difference in stature. That much is clear. As Webbett plays it out to Morton, but South looking a lot more confident out there than they did in the first half. It's amazing what a goal can do for the confidence. Hill versus Toos, a bit of a height mismatch there, and Hill comfortably away. Jack Ryan looking to get himself involved, but the offside flag had been raised. The frustration in the second half continuing for Jack Ryan. It looks like Samson Juju is going to be introduced here for South, so some more speed up top. And it'll be Berezanski replaced by Juju. So like for like, probably not Berezanski's busiest day today. He's had a very good pre-season and he's set for a big year. Hasn't quite had the impact he would have liked today, but Samson Juju comes on. It's a pretty speedy front three they're rocking now.
Well, it certainly is.
Hallam Toos Juju.
That's exactly right. Just gone for a little bit less stature now of South Hobart, but it's really brought them back into the game. They're going to be looking for those kind of diagonal balls from out wide in and over the top, just into that channel between the centre-back and the full-back. And they've been getting a bit of joy there of South as Riley Morton decides to go on a little bit of a run, and he goes past two, dishes off a beautiful pass to Toos from distance. Straight into the back of an Olympia defender. Now Kibler's going to have to work here. There's that man Jack Ryan, first half hat-trick, quiet second half. But to be honest, I'd take a first half hat-trick for a quiet second half any day of the week.
May not yet be enough the way South Hobart are attacking. Let's see if the Warriors can get another one. It's the King of the Andals in Koso. Squaring up against Havina once again. Drops the shoulder. Looks for another option, and unfortunately that option is just to be robbed of it by Kobe Kemp. It was Hallam. Now he gets the ball, touches it past one and goes over the top of O'Connor. Calls for the cheddar to be distributed, nothing given from Mace.
That is probably the second or third time I've seen him make a foul in that area too. Learned a little bit from some of the managers these days who say that's a fantastic area to make a tactical foul, especially if you're getting away without the slice of cheese. As we see the substitute for Olympia, it's going to be a rest for Mearns. And the new player, I think, Jackson Kasif, another man who has always had fantastic salad.
And one of the more audacious salads in the competition. This, it is spectacular. Just get a load of it. Outstanding stuff as Corey and Juju clash there. Lucas Hill just whacks it away. And here is the man with the outrageous salad, Jackson Kasif.
Outrageously good, Andrew.
Oh, all for it. It is spectacular. As Lakaselchik just lofts it over the top of Gorry, playing with some fire in his belly out there. It's a steely glare in Adam Gorry's eyes at the moment. And
he's all business.
We'll see if they can hang on. They'd love another goal here, Olympia, because it's really swung round. Thought that was probably a foul, but play allowed to continue there. And a physical clash, that's for sure.
Did Stratos flag that foul just then? Or?
I certainly know Coach Andrew Brown put up his hand for that one. Unfortunately, his isn't final.
I just about wouldn't have been surprised to see Andrew Brown just grab the flag as we see Olympia get in behind, but said flag has been raised.
Flag raised, that's up.
It's just there's a delicious salad on Jackson Kasif, and this one's going to have to be a particular vintage, but real Taribo West vibe from Jackson Kasif. Those not familiar with
that is niche.
The 2002 World Cup references, check that one out on Google. It doesn't quite have as big a colour as Taribo West, who had pretty much the same of that but green for the 02 World Cup. It was excellent.
It'll never be as outrageous as the phenomenon Ronaldo's do, and I think it was the 98 World Cup. That was outrageous.
Yeah, just
like the reverse monk, I think that one is.
Yes.
It'll be a salad that's never topped as our rubbish starts to wear a bit thin on my own ears. Just lumped forward for South Hobart. Oh.
Corner. Yeah, good
corner
overall
given
there.
because lumped forward, but by an Olympia defender.
Yeah, no.
Lumped back, really.
Just a toe in there from O'Connor with Hallam on his backside. So another set piece for Kobe Kemp. Corner delivery hasn't been up to his usual standards so far, and so he goes short to Havinen, who just dinks one towards the front post. Casey Main clears, and now Kasif whacks that clear, and pretty much just looking for touch there at the halfway line. Defer to Havinen. Looks to go down the line, has stolen a good 8 yards. O'Connor. Kemp. Now Hallam. Kasif at his back. He goes past 3 of them, Hallam, all on his own. And Hill, the last line of defence on that occasion. Now in Koso, trying to get round Lockie Semler, but that is wonderful defence from the youngster.
And the crowd go wild for the kid too, don't they?
They love supporting their youngsters here, South Hobart. And here's another one coming forward. It's Twos. Hallam in the box. Twos manages to keep it in. That's probably not the greatest idea. It's someone a foot taller than you.
I disagree. It is the great idea. Trying the 360 spin on the line, I'm all about it. The audacity of it from Twos, outstanding. And the confidence that these youngsters are playing with is really shining through. It's what's got them back in the game.
That bit of play there from Lockie Semler, it looked as though Brown had just made the decision to switch sides there for Joffrey and Koso, who'd looked a bit isolated. He switched sides from the left wing to Lockie Semler's back pocket. And we'll see if he can keep him there for the rest of the game, but really has grown into the game more and more, the young man.
Yeah, looking to make that left back spot his own. As Laka Seljuk flicks on for Juju. Juju for Kobe Kemp. That's a vital challenge made by O'Connor because Twos was in acres of space on the opposite flank. Lucas Hill, strong play, but then lofts it long. Just not keeping a hold of the ball as well as they did in the first half. And looking a little more panicked out there in possession, Olympia. This game has done such a 180 in this second half. And really, Olympia have looked in complete control of it. Suddenly, just hanging on, but they've got plenty of threat back the other way, especially if this man can get a little more involved. And Koso chipped over the top towards an offside Jack Ryan. And he's frustrated here in the second half. And his battles continue after an utterly ruthless first 45.
That little look that he gave then was a bit similar to the goal celebration, a bit of a shrug, but the emotions very different. Frustration now for Jack Ryan, who is still working reasonably hard up there, but just not getting linked up with as well in the absence of Warren Wadawu. Certainly the Warriors seem to be missing his presence out there now. Riley Morton, he lumps it long, but that's not the strategy to go with for South Hobart with the smaller men up there. Brown knocks it over the top, but Kibler's been strong at the back despite conceding 3 in the first couple of minutes, and Casper Hallam has been strong dribbling. Just keeps going, doesn't he, Paul Hunt?
He does indeed. I thought there was a foul there on Brown as he just got his body in the way, and Brown is now protesting that decision to the referee. That one's come off in Koso last. Semler keeps it in. PK again whacks it forward. Hill controls it, but just about fell to Hallam. But a 3-on-1 there, South Hobart nearly, as Havinen now gets it forward. Kobe Kemp's popped up on the far side. Great cross. Juju has put it over the top. 6 yards out from the youngster. Now you've got to hit the target there. A golden chance for South Hobart has gone a wasting. He's made the perfect run. And it's just set up nicely for him. And just hasn't kept his head down. And has hit it straight into the back fence, nearly onto Grove Road. And could that be a crucial miss?
It may well be. It may well be. It was brilliantly forged outright. There on the wing from South Hobart. They are taking the game up to the Warriors here. We're just about hanging on. They've got 13 minutes left in regulation here. Jack Ryan just getting in the back of Kobe Kemp a little there, I felt, but play allowed to continue. Adam Gorey looking to charge forward.
Kibler.
Well read by Kibler. And he wanted the throw in too. Doesn't get it. He's fuming with Stratos there. There's plenty of emotion out there on display for both teams. It's a bit like that, the Summer Cup. No one cares about it till it reaches the final, basically. And then it is sheep stations, and we are seeing that here. today. Both teams desperate to win this football game. Joffrey and Koso just bumps off there of Semler. Back he goes to Gorry. But Larby was there to put him off. They'll get the throw in.
It's like they've got an extra man on the pitch in this half, isn't it, South Hobart? They harassing and harrying and not letting Olympia form any triangles. Gorry now, former South Hobart and Devonport man. And it's Juju who couldn't escape up the line just there. He has looked lively since coming on though, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's certainly shown a little bit. There's Brownie just with a few words there for Adam Gorry. Olympia looking to find goal number 4 just to make this a little more secure. And that's a great trademark run from Gorry down the right. Can he pick someone out with a cross? He looks for Jack Ryan. And well kept out by Webbett. Safe pair of hands. Ryan threatening to find goal number 4. Great attack on the ball by Hot Dogs there. Kobayashi doing very nicely in Koso. And winning the free kick.
Just on that Jack Ryan chance, it just curled a little bit away behind him, didn't it? And couldn't quite generate the power. He's worked hard today as Bradley Lacasseljak, but you see the introduction now of Tay Evans, another youngster, would have played a bit of Challenge League last year.
Bradley Lacasseljak was the most experienced of that front 5 there for South, so it's, I reckon, got to be close to the youngest front 5 I think I've ever seen at a level like this.
Playing with real heart though, aren't they?
Absolutely. Absolutely, as Gorry looks towards the back stick. Ryan in a wrestling match, that is comfortable for Webbett, who gets it out quickly to Juju. And that has come off the wrong side of his foot there. He's going to hit that with the laces and played a nice sideways pass. It was in Koso. Down the line for the Warriors. Gets it back to Nwarabu. Now Brown. South really keen to attack the ball, especially in this second half. Inside again, and again. It's a bit too aggressive this time, the South press. And another free kick opportunity for the Warriors. Just not quite playing with the same intensity they were in that first 40 minutes.
No, not at all. They've been shell-shocked a little bit by South. It's interesting to see where Tay Evans is going to line up. Looks as though he's taken the deepest spot in central midfield at this point. Seen Kobe Kemp get into the channel and push up the field a little bit more as Kasif nods on. No opportunity there though, so could be a few more opportunities for Kemp to get forward now that Evans has been introduced. And he's got Gorry for company now, but Gorry breezes past him. Brilliant work in there, Kibler. He's talking about growing into the game. That man certainly has as well. So looks to push a little bit too far forward then though, but good support from Semler. South have an overlap out the other side, and they go in that direction. It's a beautiful ball for Tobias Hawaiian. He's measured it well. He looks to go past O'Connor, but O'Connor with good strength and good discipline to stick to his task there. No chance that is a foul.
Every chance that's a foul though. Mind you, it's rare to see a head down that low making a lunging challenge, but Tay Evans has managed it.
Oh, I've seen Nemanja Vidic make a few back in the day.
Unconventional technique, to say the least.
Body on the line kind of stuff, but no need to endanger your vertebra.
So still, it's the Warriors holding sway, 3 goals to 2. It's been a very impressive second half fight back this from South Hobart. Into the final 10 minutes now. Are there any further twists to come? Ryan draws a crowd. Declan Brown rolls it through. The offside flag is raised. Just as Kasif is looking to
this is good stuff here from Kasif too. Just dragging a little bit more time off the clock. Yeah. Might start to see that a little bit more from the Warriors now, but I'm not necessarily sure that kind of approach is going to help them when they're coming up against a team that have their tails up like South do here. Owainen to twos. Couldn't get it to Hallam. A little bit sloppy here in midfield from the Warriors before Hot Dogs Kobayashi puts a raking ball in for Nkoso. He got the right side of Semler, but could not get the right side of Kibler. And Juju held onto the ball with strength there before Ewan Larby just knocked out of play. Great work back there from Kibler to help out Semler when caught out for pace there.
He's had a good game, Kibler, as this one's chipped over the top. Not a bad ballsy, just put it out in front of Hallam and let him run. He knocks it into the path of Lucas Hill. He sees it out of play. But he may have the stature advantage there, Lucas Hill, but he loves these constant foot races he's finding himself in with young Hallam, who has been absolutely everywhere in this second half, has really risen to the occasion of the Summer Cup final. South knocking on the door here, Kobe Kemp. A real captain's performance from him in the second half too. Havainen away by Pacey Main. Danger gone for now, but Tay Evans knock it back to Morton. South knock it around here. Kemp down the line. Havainen. Now Hallam skipping free. It's Casper Hallam. 1-on-1 Hallam! A superb goal from Casper Hallam! And it's 3-3 in the cup final. They've come all the way back from 3-0 down. What a game, what a performance from these South youngsters. And in particular, this man, Casper Hallam, with a brilliant race.
You could not see more two contrasting halves, could you?
Absolutely, he's done a full 180.
Yes, we saw his potential last year in bursts, and I questioned earlier, can he do it for the full 90? My word, he can. His 2 goals have absolutely turned Lucas Hill around there. A lovely finish. Part Randall. 3-all. You would not have predicted this scoreline about the 35th minute mark. Olympia were all over them. And Hallam, and now Juju nearly stealing one in front of Gorrie. The Warriors look flat dead on their feet at the moment.
Well, the crowd is right behind South now. They'll have their tails up even further than they were. The tails will be up so high, it'll be like a giraffe with a tail.
Hill managing to win that one, and Juju committing it. Conceding the throw. 5 minutes plus stoppage time. Could we have extra time? Looking likely at this stage as Ryan gets the flick on. Evans can't get it out of his feet, and Koso can. Ryan tries to turn away. Brown, good space out wide here, and O'Connor completely shanks it. Evans, good early challenge there from Kasif. Now out to Havainen. Twos. Darby out wide. Havainen goes towards Larby. Falls to Juju. Juju with a shot, and Randall claims above his head, but another chance for South. Morton doesn't clear that the way he wanted to. Kemp beaten in the air. Semler. Brown. Game of head tennis at the moment. Semler. Good ball forward. Now Juju. Hallam's peeling off the back. Hills. Oh, way too close to our equipment here for our liking.
Well,
that
this
clearance.
Is opening up even further, I think, this game. The rush of blood that's coming after these goals, you can see the spaces start to open up a little bit more. And we're going to have a damn entertaining final 7 minutes here for you. Well, final of regulation time.
Might have a little bit more. What a fight back this has been. Olympia 3-0 up. Ryan with a hat-trick in half an hour of football. This game looked done as Hallam turns and draws the foul from Hill. He copped a nasty knock in the process. But I tell you what, the crowd has absolutely got up too. There's a real wind in South Hobart's sail at the moment. Not to mention a slight wind advantage themselves. And then just angling the body. And you're right about Nick Morton being from the Dan Dogger Brown school of bench emoting. He has been absolutely exuberant down there.
A bit like watching Cristiano Ronaldo in the final of that Euro. The Portugal one.
So Juju just getting some running repairs down there on the South Hobart bench. Got a little knock, but a free kick in a good spot, and Kobe Kemp, a good man to be taking it. As suddenly In the first half, it was South Hobart who were baying for a whistle to come and bring about half-time. Well, it's probably Olympia hoping they can just get to extra time at the moment and reassess things there. Only just holding on. Cody Kemp, just the one in the wall. Adam Gorry. Inspect the cross here, and there's a fair height disparity for the most part. Olympia certainly the more physically built of the two teams. That doesn't mean they can't conjure something. It's a good ball from Kemp. Pacey Main heads behind. Another corner. Another chance for Kemp to get to work over the dead ball.
Oh, nervous times here, isn't it?
It's been a cracking cup final, this.
Yep.
So much drama.
I think it was about the 35th minute that we said, could that be game over for Olympia? Well, no, because they've had a lot of heart of this South Hobart team. It's going to be Kobe Kemp to curl it in, punts it back stick. Riley Morton was competing there, but it is all Olympia back there. Jack Ryan with the clearance, finds Brown, but Lockie Semler back there as he so often has been today, doing the hard yards defending. Some lovely control there for Brown, who goes around Ewan Larby with ease. Looked to Plain and Koso, but he wasn't quite on the same wavelength as him there.
Ryan's headed that so hard, he's managed to knock Riley Morton's headband off his head. He's collided with him that hard. That's an impressive feat. There's Gorry. Well, can the Warriors miraculously turn this around? Brown is known for a piece of magic. What can he do, Declan Brown? He can do nothing but concede a goal kick.
That is marvellous from Lockie Semler.
Yeah, for a guy I've never seen play before today, Lockie Semler, very, very impressive performance so far.
Well, he's a talented young sportsman, I can guarantee you that. Not just a talented young footballer, he's
that Juju. Juju is rocking a very impressive mouth bandage. And the likes we haven't seen, but Casper Hallam trying to get him behind. Hill again all over him. And this time, Hot Dogs manages to clear. Good flick on there. Now Kasif down the left-hand side. Jackson Kasif to win it for the Warriors! Oh, they've turned it around miraculously. It's the substitute, Jackson Kasif, storming away to the grandstand. If anyone deserves a winner, it's him. And the flip! And the flip!
Didn't land it, but he might have landed the knockout blow. The Olympia Warriors, they've done it the hard way, but as we reach the end of the 90 minutes, they take the lead. South Hobart temporarily down to 10 men with Juju on the sidelines, and Jackson Kasif storms in behind the substitute, and he might have landed the knockout blow. It was a composed finish, slides it past Webbett. 4-3 Olympia, and a stoppage time winner perhaps. Look at the celebration. Brings out the flip. Anyway, back to live play. South Hobart have stoppage time. Can they respond? It's Juju working it to Hallam. Hallam
he was
over the head
down.
of Juju again. Play allowed to continue. Declan Brown sweeps it over the top. Oh, here's Jack Ryan in space. He could finish it here. It's Jack Ryan twice the game. Webbits comes up big. A great save from the keeper there. Keeps them alive in this one. Although they've only got a couple of minutes to find the equaliser. Semler worked off it by Nkoso. The Warriors now looking to see this one out. It's been an absolute thriller of a decider. Is there more late drama? Lucas Hill using his strength and his size, and he just manages to deal with twos.
Well,
up and under.
Very exciting final few minutes set. We have gone into the 92nd minute now, and it's that man Kasif at the minute who is the difference between the two sides. He does well in a challenge there. It's Kasif again. A few step overs, and he's probably drawn a foul there, but nothing given from the ref. So he just lies down on top of the ball and says, no counter for you, South Hobart.
Slice of cheddar as well for throwing the ball away. It's a hectic few minutes.
Oh, Kasif doing the dark arts when they matter there.
South throwing numbers forward. Kibler has positioned himself right on Lucas Hill. I'm surprised Webbett's not even taking this kick. Mace, the fourth official hasn't even signalled stoppage time. There's been too much going on. There's the long, long punt from Kemp. Up to Havinen, over his head. Flick on from Kibler. Hallam running in behind. O'Connor manages to clear.
Yeah, definitely the safe thing to do there from O'Connor, because you don't want to be caught out for pace like they have on a couple of occasions. It's going to heave it in from South Hobart. Nobody landing on the end of that header but a defender. It's Brown now. Jeez, it was a serious contest there from the two players, and I'm not really sure where this foul's come from, but
Keeper.
is it time to get the keeper up,
Keeper.
as you rightly
Up there,
say?
Webbett.
Keeper.
Come on, Webbett. Up you go, son.
Oh, we want to see it. We want to see it. He's getting the point here from the crowd. They're all calling him up. Even Lockie Semler's going. It is last chance saloon here for South. Kobe Kemp curls it in. Headed away from Morabu. The man with the mouthpiece in there is Samson Juju. Shouts for a penalty. Nothing given. Joffrey and Kozo now. But no advantage is signalled from the referee, and it will be brought back. And valuable seconds will get eaten up.
You'd imagine this is going to 94 at a guess.
And they will just eat as many of the seconds up as they possibly can here. The Warriors, they're almost there.
This is the point when you as a keeper, you just about cop the cheese here, don't you, in the final of the Summer Cup?
Absolutely. So Randall thumps it long. Is there time for a response? There isn't. The final whistle rings out. Olympia, they were given an almighty scare, but they have held on to win the Summer Cup 4-3. An extraordinary game. South Hobart down 3-0 to a Jack Ryan hat-trick inside of 32 minutes. Roared back into this one, led by Casper Hallam. Made it 3-all, but it was the substitute in the 90th minute, Jackson Cassif, who's won it for the Warriors. Bloody football, eh?
Oh, it was marvellous, wasn't it? That is, geez, I know we're not meant to use that famous hashtag, but that was the magic of the cup there, boys. That was a magical day of football. But Cassif, take a bow. I think we're going to have to be running with Flip Cassif for that man, because extraordinary celebration too to round it off, and what a marvellous finish to just snatch the points away at the end for Olympia.
I was kind of looking forward to extra time there, but with such a winner, such high drama, you'd be forgiven not minding that finish. And what a game overall. Two individuals really stole it in the first half, Jack Ryan. In the second half, Casper Hallam. It is amazing individual performances in this team game.
Very, very hard to give a man of the match on that one, isn't it? Because, geez, you can say who the men of each half were, but, geez, overall, just a marvellous game of football.
Indeed it was, as Olympia come home, and who says this is a pointless pre-season kickabout? Can't tell me that from the last 90 minutes.
Well, as I said, it's the one where, you experiment throughout the group stage, you're getting ready, you're getting minutes in the legs, but once you're in the final, it's a cup final, everyone wants to walk away with it, especially when it's Olympia South Hobart. You don't want to go losing a cup final to such a fierce rival, and we saw a great rivalry out there on the pitch today. What a game. And full credit to South Hobart, who absolutely fought back in that one, the youngsters. They've probably belied the expectations of them in this pre-season.
Absolutely.
I think they lost 9 of their starting 11 from last year over the off-season, but look, the kids are all right.
This is a game where I think both teams should walk off the field being very proud of what they've dished out. The strength of Olympia to snatch it at the end, but the resilience of the young South Hobart team as well.
Definitely indeed, as Warriors were tempted to go walking off, but they need to stay for their presentation. They're about to get the trophy.
They do indeed. That's ground announcer Glenn McNeil for the presentation. And we'll be back to wrap up an epic KG5.
With his assistant referees, Stratos Komaritis and Toby Butler, as well as fourth official Matthew Westwood. Okay, can I ask the South Hobart captain to come up and just say a few words?
First of all, thanks to everyone for coming out. Great game of football, considering it's only pre-season, so I think it's a great platform for everyone to build on for this season. South Hobart, my boys, great effort to come back from 3 goals down and put in a great shift. Credit to Olympia, you guys are strong throughout the whole game and just finished at the end, so well done guys.
Kobe. Can I ask the captain of Olympia FC Warriors to come up?
I'll start off with the South boys. As usual, after the first half, we knew it was still going to be a hard task with you boys. Over the last 3 years, it's always the exact same. You boys put me in good shit in the second half. So, well done, boys. We'll always know you're coming at us. We're such a young team, and I think we're going to have a great year ahead against you guys. Boys, well done. We really had to dig deep. We talked about it at half time. When it was 2-0 down, didn't lose our heads. Well done, boys. Well done, Jack. Class from you, too. Thanks for the supporters for coming out. A lot of you, it was great. And thanks to the officials. Thank you.
Okay, and I'll ask member for Lions, John Tucker, to present medals to the winning team, Olympia FC Warriors. Lucas, if you could call out names, it'd be great.
Alright, first off the rank, Jackie Ryan, big fella. Come on down. After that, Nick Burns. We got Declan. And Darby. Ashton, well done, mate. Kobe. Lachlan, well done, mate. Adam Gorey. Maxine, that's you. Alan Brown. Joffrey. Wazza. Davis. My class, get injured there. Joseph. And Kaza.
And if John could present the trophy to the captain of Olympia FC Warriors, Lucas Hill. Congratulations, Olympia FC Warriors, Summer Cup Summer Cup winners 2020.
So there we have it. The pre-season competition comes to an end. The Olympia Warriors made to work for it in one of the great cup finals. It ends 4-3 their favour. They were perfect in the group stage. They were given an almighty scare today, but they walk away with the Summer Cup. And first of all, I'm sure they'll be hoping will be much silverware to come this season. The NPL season kicking off in a week's time. And they will have their eyes on that for sure as everyone tries to dethrone the Devonport Strikers. That won't be an easy task. But the Warriors, well, they are 5 from 5 in pre-season action and they will head into next week's opener filled with confidence. And he's hoping we get some more games like that throughout the year because it set a pretty high benchmark. It was an incredible day here at KG5, but the Olympia Warriors walk away winning an absolute thriller, 4-3, to join us next week when the NPL Tasmania season kicks off around the state. A little wave there from Jack Ryan, the hat-trick hero in the first half. But from KG5 here on Summer Cup final day, it's bye for now.